This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Bloody Happy Hour, Turn Up Tuesday. What do we do on Tuesdays, Caroline?
We just do some quickies, you know. We just talk about what's in the news, what's happening, what's going on, and
That's it.
pretty much it.
Yeah. I don't have a lot, but the stories I do have are like big stories.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one is a Shanquella Robinson update.
What?
And we were just talking about it because you were like, it just fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So, 2022, Shanquella Robinson's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you don't remember, she went on a trip with some of her friends or people she thought were her friends to Cabo. And she was dead within 24 hours of getting there. Her friends called her mother and told her mother that she died of alcohol poisoning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine getting that phone call? But later on, the autopsy showed that there was a spinal cord injury, broken neck, caused by trauma. And then a video surfaced
Oh, yeah.
where
the beating.
Dejanay Jackson, who has since changed her name. I
She
forgot
changed
what's
her name.
She changed her name.
Or like Carla
Probably
Jones
because
or
she
something.
couldn't. It was like it's something green, like a basic name, but probably because think of how she's probably being alienated after.
Yeah,
that
now
story
she's like
came out.
Amber
she can't
Jones
get a job.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this video, she was attacking Shanquella. Shanquella was naked. She was trying to defend herself, but you could tell that she was drunk or had like been woken up out of her sleep or whatever. The group in the video was like egging it on. Nobody had tried to stop it. Nobody had come to the rescue. But by the time all this came out, they'd hurry up and come back to the States.
Yeah.
And so there was a warrant out for Dejanay's arrest in Mexico, but no arrests were made.
Of course.
But her family has been fighting ever since, as they should. So there's like some more reports that are coming up, and so a guy came forward. I don't know if it was a guy, because there was a guy on the trip, and he came forward. They hadn't said his name, and that said that here's the fight, and that he saw pictures of the body, like somebody took pictures of her body, and it looked like she had been stomped on. And then the people said, so then stories kind of change and says, yeah, we think that her head hit the toilet because she'd got so drunk.
Okay.
The family, Shanquella's family, have since filed a civil lawsuit against the federal government, basically saying you did not act on it in time, and now I'm not getting justice.
Yeah.
And on each of the Cabo 6, so all those friends. And like pain and suffering type things, okay? So there's like 2 of the 6 are fighting to have this civil lawsuit dismissed, but moved to Mexico, which is one, a stall tactic, because it causes like a lot of legal hurdles.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And it makes it harder for the Robinson family. But also, if it's moved there, then Dejanay gets arrested because there's a warrant for her arrest out there, and they can't come to the States and come arrest her. And so you can tell that they're kind of like turning against each other. So like this reporter, I think I was watching something on Court TV, and maybe not Court TV. That was Brian Koberger. I was watching Court
News
TV.
Nation?
Yeah, one of them. And anyways, they were saying that they are slowly like, first they were sticking together. And now they're like getting different lawyers. Now they're changing their names. Now they're separating from each other. Now they're like pointing fingers, which they should be doing. So there's also a wrongful death lawsuit on Dejanay for negligence, conspiracy, emotional distress, $2 million for her, and then $2 million for the battery and the emotional distress, but also suing the FBI for that money too. And so people are like, $2 million, that's a lot. You're not going to get $2 million from Dejanay. You're right. But the other entities would possibly pay out, like if it's proven that they didn't do their job. But the real reason behind the family and these lawsuits is they have not been talking. They've been silent. They have not said a thing besides this anonymous person that came forward. So you can't ignore a court order. So if there's a civil lawsuit, you have to come to court and you have to talk about what happened. What is said in the civil lawsuit can turn into a later on, like trial and criminal lawsuit. So what their family is hoping is, of course, one, they'll probably get some money, but that this could lead to a trial, open up for a trial later on.
As it should, but is it not? Is it not because it happened in Mexico? Is that the whole? I mean, I feel like that's the whole like red tape of it all.
So there were two different autopsies. In Mexico, the autopsy said it was spinal cord injury. The atlas, which is the top of your cervical vertebrae, was broken, and then trauma to the head. Then she came to America, and there was a autopsy, and it said basically like a traumatic, like brain injury type thing, a topic. I can't think of the word, and I should have wrote it down. But basically, like a brain,
like an aneurysm kind of a thing, or just like a brain bleed.
Yeah, that caused it. But then it ruled where Mexico said it was trauma and it was a homicide. America said it was ruled inconclusive. So that's why America is not yet pursuing. Because the autopsy is showing.
Do we not have, I mean, they have video, and I mean, I don't.
There's a lot of red tape, and it's been going on behind the scenes. I just don't understand, like, how they are all still free. Like, they didn't even get arrested and get out on bond.
Nothing.
There were, like, no charges.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't understand how. I feel like it's because it happened in another country, it's going to be hard to prosecute them here.
It is.
And so what do you do?
Don't give up like these people are doing, this family's doing. Because if you bring the civil lawsuit here, then, and if something wrong is said on the stand, or if one of the friends slips and like points a finger at the other, that can open up for a trial here. Because then you know like a crime has actually happened because it's been said in a court of law.
No, because usually it's opposite. Usually you do the criminal, then it goes to civil.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But they haven't been able to get a criminal case.
I know,
it's so crazy. All right, so there's a missing brown woman, but it's just is pretty big deal. Missing student Sadisha Kanaki. I'm gonna call her Kanaki because that's much easier. Was on spring break, and she's a pre-med student at the university.
There's been so much going on about
Pittsburgh, yes. So the story is, you've seen her picture all over. She's a beautiful, smart med student. They were American citizens, but she's from, I think she's an Indian American. So she's from India. Her family was from India. There was a power outage at the resort, all right? And her friends were seen on camera going down to the beach. It was like early in the morning. And she was arm to arm with an Iowa student named Joshua Reeby. And this happened on March 6th, so like at the start of spring break for a lot of schools. About 5:55 a.m. Now, this Joshua Reeby, she had met earlier that day at a bar at the resort. So, and he was staying at the same resort.
Yeah.
So her friends, which this is a controversial type thing, kind of like Natalie Holloway, like her friends left, went back, and she was left alone, and we know what happened with that. So her friends went back to the hotel about 5:55 a.m., which it's time to go to bed.
Cool.
I
Wait,
know.
5:55
a.m. But Kanaki stayed on the beach with Joshua. Now, I did see in video is like one girl went home with one of Joshua's other, like with another guy. So they could have just been all booed up and separating to do what you do when you're on vacation in spring break. The following morning, about 9:10 a.m., Josh was seen on camera returning to the resort, to his room. He had on no shirt, but he also did not have Kanaki with him. Kanaki's friends obviously didn't have a hangover because they got up about 8 that morning because they had a trip planned, right? An excursion that was already prepaid.
After their 2 hours of sleep?
After their 2 hours of sleep.
Well, I guess I do remember those
Now,
days.
I kept seeing like alcohol was involved, but then I saw something else that alcohol was not involved. So I don't know. I can only picture it with alcohol being involved.
I know.
But they went on a damn excursion, and Kanaki was supposed to go, but she didn't show up. So they just went anyways, thinking she was like still passed out and with Josh. I guess they didn't think anything about it. And when they left, they had her phone in her purse, her little wristlet. So they really had no way to get a hold of her. Which I don't know why they would take that.
Just were like, oh, she's just going to be at the apartment or at the condo.
Yeah, how's she going to get in? So they got back at 4 o'clock p.m., and that's when they realized Kanaki had never even returned to the room. They haven't heard from her. They hadn't seen her. So that's when she was reported missing. So initially, this Joshua kid was a person of interest, and he cooperated like right off the bat. The police are like just trying to figure out what happened. So her parents also show up pretty quick, and they want an investigation to her disappearance because Dad, probably like a lot of parents, was like tracking, like 360, tracking her, and called a friend because he hadn't talked to her that day, and asked the friend, where is she? And then that's when they were like, oh, well, we haven't seen her. We ain't seen her since last night.
Yeah.
So Dad actually is the one that like made the friends open their eyes a little bit. So, he's cooperating with the police, and her parents show up, and at this time, there's like hundreds and thousands of people like searching on the beach, by boat, like in the water, on the beach, like asking questions. It was actually the biggest search in Punta Cana history. Yeah. So, and since Josh was the last person to see her, they're interviewing him. And so his story was that they were together in the water and they were kissing. But he went to shore and passed out, and he didn't know what happened to her.
Okay, I heard somewhere, not this could be older news.
There's multiple stories.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's one of this. I couldn't find the order of how he told the stories.
Yeah.
But this was the first one that I heard, is that he passed out like on the little bench out there at the beach, and that he don't know like what happened to her. Her bathing suit top and flip-flops were in like the chair next to him, but like when he got up and went to his room, he had no idea like where she was. His story changed while they were, and then it said they were in the water and they were kissing, and a big old wave came And he used to maybe be a lifeguard or work at a pool, and so he would demonstrate it, like how he like saved her and like pulled her to closer to shore. But he had swallowed so much water that he had puked and that he had passed out. He said, and I remember pulling her to at least knee-deep water, but he don't know what happened after that.
I can see that type of thing happening. Like if you're in the ocean, it's late at night or early in the morning, whatever, and then if you have even if you haven't been drinking, like that can pull you under.
Oh, yeah. And there was red
easily.
flags on the beach, so they weren't even
red flag
supposed to be in the water.
Yeah.
It was pretty windy.
Because
it was treacherous.
I've watched one of my friends, and I laughed at her, but like, because it just like keeps taking you under and under and under.
There's an undertow.
Yes, yes. And so if you're not, I mean, that just sucks you in. But I don't know. Well, her top could have easily come off, but I don't know how it ended up on the chair.
Well, her not her top, her
Her cover up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Her cover up. So, and then another story was that he ended up just going to his room and she stayed down there on the beach like by herself, so he don't know what happened.
I think the second story is my favorite.
Is the most plausible story.
Yeah.
So he was saying maybe another wave came and like knocked her and took her, even in knee-deep water. Because it was rough, and they shouldn't even been in the water.
Yeah,
but
even
maybe
in
they're
knee deep,
drunk.
like it does not take much for that ocean to swallow you up.
So, the thing about this, to me, and like I was watching some other like, maybe other detectives, and like one of the Natalie Holloway experts was out there, was commenting on it, and he said that when he went to his room and like caught up with like the other friends, he didn't mention anything. And so maybe if he was drunk, he didn't remember, but he didn't mention anything about, damn, I almost drowned. I passed out on the beach. I puked. Or, dang, Kanaki, I had to save her. Like, and I had to pull her to shore. Like, it was just like nothing. Nothing. And then these stories start coming up when he is being interviewed. So was he that drunk? Because I've been that drunk, right? It's like you have the little blackout period that it's like, as you really try to remember or as you're talking about it, more things like come.
Well, yeah, if you're reminded of things, you're like, oh, that's right. That happened.
So.
And maybe he thought that she had already left and gone, and he passed out, and she went and found her friends.
There's no telling.
But that's me believing. I kind of put myself, and I'm like, well, that's probably what I would have done. Been like, oh, they're already gone, so I'm going to go back to my room, and I don't even else, whatever. You don't know this person, you just met him.
Well, that was fun. I wonder if I got laid.
Yeah, could I? I'll never know.
So,
Call me 6 weeks.
He was asked not to leave the hotel, and they actually confiscated his passport. And there was a police officer basically like keeping an eye on him all the time. So they're treating him like a suspect person.
Punta Cana for longer, so
yeah, but he like had to stay in his room. Like it wasn't like
oh well, that sucks.
They like let him go and hang out at the pool.
Well, that was rude.
So then you hear that he is not a person of interest, and he is just a witness to, the possible disappearance. He's been cooperative. He's been genuine. And her parents even came forward and kind of co-signed with the police and said that they believed him. And they actually hugged him and thanked him for saving their daughter.
Didn't they also say like...
Oh, let me.
Oh.
I'm trying to say it like in the order. Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
No, I got the statement that they said because... it was just so hard for me to understand and believe that, like, he had to be very genuine or persuasive. But then you got somebody else that's saying that he had no emotion behind it. But then he also didn't know her. So here's what the parent said. It is with deepest sadness and a heavy heart that we are coming to terms with the fact that our daughter has drowned. This is incredibly difficult for us to process. Both sides of the authority have shown us how high the ocean waves were at the time of the incident, and both sides of the authorities have clarified the person of interest was not a suspect from the beginning. You watch the mom, and it is devastating. Like her tears. The dad's a little bit more put together. Now, he has, I think as of yesterday, so Thursday the 19th, he has been okayed and released to come back to America. And then her parents asked Punta Cana for a declaration of death so that they can go home and grieve and tell their little children.
Didn't they say that they wanted this to stop the investigation? Like, there needs to be no more. Like, we've already, it's part of that statement, I guess. It was just
like
we've accepted that she's drowned. Don't put any more resources towards it. We need to just grieve and move on.
Yeah, give me the death certificate so we can go back home, so I can get my life insurance.
I don't know. Like,
do you know how long it took for Natalie Holloway's mom to accept it?
Like
5 years. And only because Joran Vandersloot was proven to be a murderer in another case.
And was there any more videos of anything?
For this one?
No, for Natalie.
I don't remember.
Like, was there? I don't either. So, because I'm like, well,
we know she was walking off with Joran, just like this.
Yeah.
And they were going for a walk on the beach to watch some sharks or something.
Yes. So I guess.
I
don't.
I know. Now, the police in Punta Cana, they are still going to investigate. They want to find the answers. One, they want, if she drowned, if there's a body and if she drowned, they want their guests. Because Punta Cana, right, people go and they visit there. They don't want people to think, oh, there's human trafficking or somebody's kidnapping.
This is also very different from Tranquilla.
Yeah. So the Punta Cana Police Department or whoever they are, they're not done yet. But to me, it was just very weird that the family is like, we got to get back to our other kids. We need to start the grieving process.
I mean, yeah.
And maybe it's something cultural, like this is how we do it. Like, we need to hurry up and acknowledge it and get past it. I don't know, but it's just crazy to me. Now, obviously, web sleuths are all over this.
Yeah.
So the question is this like an unfortunate accident? Like, Joshua was in the worst place at the worst time and didn't have a memory to recollect? Or is this a Joran Vandersloot type thing? And then he's back in America. Will he be welcomed back? Or is his life going to be changed forever? Like, are people going to be ugly to him? Is he going to have to, like, quit his classes?
I mean,
how
old is he?
He's 22. His family put out a big statement, and we express our deep sorrow and solidarity with the family of Konopsky. Oh, shoot. During this painful time, above all, we wish to contribute to the search efforts and understand the anguish and uncertainty they are going through, and we share the hope that she will be found as soon as possible. Joshua Ribby is deeply dismayed by her disappearance and fully cooperated in the search and clarification of the facts from the beginning. So this is Joshua's parents putting this out. Like, basically, like, here's what's going on. Leave my son alone. He's a 22-year-old college student at St. Cloud's University in Minnesota. What? I thought it was Iowa. Where he was pursuing a degree in land survey. He's a beloved son, brother, and friend, known for his kind nature, sense of humor, and commitment to his community. Throughout his life, he's had strong dedication to those around him, participating in sports, studying events, volunteer activity. His faith and values have guided his path. They are humanizing Joshua.
Okay.
Like, they're humanizing him so that the court of public opinion don't attack him.
Right now too. Okay.
Huh?
Keep going.
Despite his full willingness to cooperate, Josh has been detained under irregular conditions and subjected to extensive questioning without the presence of official translator or legal counsel. On Wednesday, March 12th, since Wednesday, March 12th, he has remained in his hotel room under police surveillance and has been repeatedly taken to the police station since March 6th. So he got to stay all these extra days. First of all, his vacation was ruined, and then he had to stay longer, but in his room to be questioned constantly, where he has been interrogated for long, long hours, and it has raised serious concern with the family, which has led them to retain their own legal counsel.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. This is everything right
ensuring his safety and something, her head's blocking it, of rights throughout this process. We thank those that have shown support and understanding during these difficult times. We recognize this is a complex and painful situation for all parties involved, and we trust that the investigation will be conducted with transparency and justice. The only interest is that due process be respected and that actions be taken with the fairness of the situation requires. Please pray that she be returned home to her family. Which, okay, they are doing what the laundry should have did.
Exactly.
They are talking. They are humanizing their son. They are showing love and support for the victim, whether he did it or not. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be as bad of a witch hunt like it was for the laundries.
Yeah.
Because they shut up and just picked tomatoes in the backyard.
Apparently
believe it was
he
an
can
accident?
move around freely. Okay, you said that he's back here already or not?
He had to take a bunch of flights back, but as of the 19th, he was able to come home, released to come home.
Okay, so does he have to go back for hearings there?
What hearings of what?
I don't know. It says there'll be another hearing March 28th where Ribby is expected to receive an explanation about the location of his passport. The judge agrees that he is being unlawfully detained in the Dominican. That was 1 day ago. Then it says 1 day ago that two sources confirm that he has left the Dominican and he's boarded a JetBlue flight to...
He had to go to all these weird places.
Yeah,
before he came.
JetBlue flight this hour for AILA Airport in San Diego to San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was the last person to see Suzuki, whatever.
Yeah, I wondered why he was going to Puerto Rico, but maybe he had to book a flight there. So we're going to be following it. Do you think it was a tragic accident, or do you think it's like
but I don't know. I need to go back and watch the stuff because I haven't watched that stuff. I've been watching Karen Reed, and there's been Koberger stuff, and I've just been watching a little bit of that. But
there are a lot of sleuths that are saying...
Yeah, what are the sleuths saying?
The sleuths are saying that Joshua's friends are saying that he had just got deposited $50,000 in his accounts recently, and they're saying that it could be from the parents. This is sleuths. This is not Bloody Happy Hour saying this. And so wondering, and that's why they want to shut it down really quick, because did somebody pay him? Maybe it's not the parents, but did somebody pay him? But I still think it is so weird that you're giving up hope after 2 weeks. I know. When one story says she was on land, one story says she was only in knee-deep water. It's been up and down about how bad the water really was at that time. It was bad earlier in the night, but was it still that bad at 5 a.m. or 6 or 7 a.m. when they would have been in the water? So, I don't know.
I think that's real weird, too, that the parents all of a sudden wanted to just drop it.
Stop investigating. Stop using resources. Or are they being paid to say, yeah, she drowned? Is Punta Cana saying, hey, we will pay you because we don't want our pockets to hurt from tourists canceling. Imagine how many people probably canceled their vacation to that resort.
Yeah.
It was it was like a Ryu. So that's where people go if you go to Punta Cana. anyways.
And watch her. She's being held in some like bungalow or something.
Yeah, and
being,
the fact that
being
she
trafficked
stopped,
and
she's
raped
probably
by
on a boat.
everybody.
She's probably on a boat with
Yeah.
a bag over her head and getting shot up.
Yep, she
with
drugged.
drugs.
But is she too old for that?
No, she's 23.
Oh, she's just the right age. Some of them like young.
Oh. Well, not everybody wants a pedophile, but they just want a woman.
Yeah.
So, Bloody Happy Hour, let us know what you guys think, listeners. All right. Gene Hackman follow-up. I think our last quickie, we talked about the Gene Hackman. So we know that he was found in his house with the wife and the dog, and it just seems so weird. And we had all these guesses of what we thought it was, and we were both wrong about everything. So
didn't expect it to be this.
Their autopsy came back, and the wife died of the hantavirus, which is a rare rodent-borne respiratory disease. And they initially said that she died on February 11th. And then his pacemaker showed no activity after February 18th, and it was declared that he died of heart complications, but he was in a very, very advanced form of Alzheimer's, because it makes no sense that he would have been in the house with her for a week unless he killed her and was hiding it, or he wasn't in his right frame of mind. And if you saw pictures of him and him walking, it was...
Which I did.
It was bad. I wouldn't even recognize him. So he was in a very advanced stage. A very advanced stage. So then a doctor came forward and stated that the wife, so Gene Hackman's wife, called into his office and made an appointment for herself. And this phone call came in on the 12th. So she had previously made an appointment. She had called on the 12th to cancel it. She had called back to say, actually, I can come. And so they moved the appointment to like later in the afternoon, but she never showed up to the appointment.
Dun, dun,
She
dun.
couldn't, when she initially said that she couldn't make it, it's because she said Gene, her husband, was unwell. But she was coming for reasons, but that aren't related to like the respiratory issues that virus would have caused. So it would have been something like totally unrelated.
Well, like her foot hurt or what?
I mean, it was congestion.
Well, that could be related.
The doctor said she would have been complaining of, like she had mucus. She would have been complaining of like breathing, chest pain, all this stuff. So, and then he even said that it is not normal for somebody to just drop dead with this virus. They're usually admitted and then put in the hospital, and they die in the hospital bed. So it's like a long, drawn-out
So
thing.
this virus
is a rare rodent. So what did that house look like?
Okay.
Rare rodent droppings.
Okay. So is it... You don't have to come into direct contact with the infected rodent. Is this correct?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
An infected mouse, let's say it was a mouse or a rat or whatever, can shed the virus in its urine or feces, and even then you don't have to come in direct contact with the mouse's urine or feces, because
you just have to inhale it, or what?
it can dry up and become aerosolized, and then you can breathe it in, or otherwise come into contact with microscopic bits of mouse urine and feces, and you have no idea. I'm not laughing at her, but I'm like, is that really a thing? Like, what if the mouse... Okay, finish the story, then I'm going on the side quest.
So, she didn't show up to the appointment, and the doctor's office tried to call her, but they didn't get any answer. She was found on the bathroom floor with a portable heater nearby. Pills were scattered, and Gene was just found and looked like he had fell. He had no food in his stomach, and both bodies were mummified and bloated at the time. The dog reportedly died of dehydration and starvation, and the other two dogs were loose. So the dog that died had just had surgery, so they had him in his kennel. That is the worst way. And the other two dogs were wandering the property So they probably had a way to get something to drink and
They probably
eat
were
or
like,
whatever. They could have ate a mouse. The mouse that
they
had
should
the
have
virus.
eaten their humans. I
And
would want my dogs to eat me.
if that dog would have been loose, he would have probably gotten to the point to where he would have.
Listen, if I somehow die in my house and I don't have any friends and nobody trying to see where I'm at, what I'm doing, which is very rare because I have really crazy friends and an intense family, who I love very much, I would be like, Parker and Jax, y'all better eat me. Just go ahead and eat me because
We'll be together forever.
save yourself.
You should eat them when they die.
Well, yeah, but no.
Just swallow the ashes every once in a
It's
while.
fine.
Like
It's fine. It's fine. It's normal.
what was that show that used to come on where the girl was eating her deceased loved one's ashes?
I don't know. I just remember that one lady was eating that damn cat
Diaper.
fur.
Oh God, don't do it. Doctor always said they usually don't die suddenly from this virus. They die over time. Here's where the drama comes in.
Yeah.
His estate was worth $80 million.
And he was giving it to charity.
He was leaving everything to his wife. So if he died first, everything was going to wife. But when she died, she was leaving everything to like this charitable account, charitable trust to like help the community and just do all these things. The kids were not getting a thing. So after they found out, after the autopsies revealed that she died first, that kind of throws shit in a little kink, to where they're listed as heirs on the will, where they could kind of argue the will right now. And so, but another part of the will states that if she died first, that Gene was going to leave his money to his lawyer. But then the lawyer died.
The lawyer died?
The lawyer died too. So
Recently?
he transferred no, he had already been dead. They didn't update it.
Oh my God.
But he had transferred the responsibility over to this new lawyer. And this new lawyer is saying that she is going to honor the wife's wishes.
Of course.
So go to the charitable trust.
Oh, I would have honored his wishes to give it to the lawyer. That would be giving it to me.
Well, to give it to the lawyer to decide what to do. It's not
Yeah.
a present. It is like, lawyer, you know what we want to do with our money. If something shall happen,
Yeah.
you make the decision. We're giving you the decision to do what you think is right.
Yeah, give it to the charity.
And so she's saying she wants to honor the client's wishes and leave it in the charitable account. But the kids could take them to court saying that the will has been invalidated and they could get the money. So maybe there's going to be an argument about that. Maybe not.
Oh, well, I can't wait to watch the movie.
And then the last one is the Brian Kohberger. Brian Kohberger
let me go on my
update.
quick side quest.
Ooh.
It's my sister, my younger sister, has had this rat issue in her apartment. It's probably going on for weeks, but it's like been in the vent, like the air duct, I guess, and then like she taped it shut, and we're like, don't do that, don't do that. You need the airflow. And then she sent us videos of like the little vent things like moving, like the little, they're little screechy, but you
Yes.
can't see the paw. You just see the thing moving. And then she shows us a picture of the tail. The rat.
Oh, I'd move. Weren't the apartment people doing anything?
I don't know. She said they've called maintenance and they're going to put traps and this and this and this. And now she thinks there's two. And can they eat through the wall and this
Yes,
and all that
a
stuff?
wood
And that's
rat, they
yes,
will
and
eat
that's
through
what
the
we said.
wall.
We're like, yes, they can. This is like a family group text. It's the whole thing. It's so funny. And then they had this like water leak and this, and we're like, girl, you need to get a new apartment complex and get out of there.
It's probably the
And so
bougiest
then,
apartment complex.
whenever
though.
this happened and it talked about this hantavirus or whatever, and it talked about a rodent, all I could think about was, Catherine, you're going to get the virus, you're going to get whatever Gene Hackman's wife died of, hantavirus or whatever. And so I sent it to her and I said, girl, you better watch
got
out.
it.
You better clean up.
watch your breathing.
You better watch your breathing, and you better get out that apartment because who knew
my
this
gosh.
was a thing?
A tail hanging. I would
It
have
was
to
so
leave.
bad. she's like, I'm not touching it. I don't want to get the plague.
You better not touch it.
So she didn't
Why
even
would
want
you ever?
She didn't even want to touch the vent to take it off to put a trap there. And I'm like, call
Cook a trap.
somebody to
Throw
do
some
it.
poison. It's time to throw some damn poison out.
Yeah. I would just, excuse me, I'm going to escape this apartment for a week and throw some bombs in it and just bomb them out. I don't know. I know. I know.
Wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
Okay, yeah, Coburger.
All right, Kohlberger. Okay, so Brian Enton was all on it this week, and some court documents or something was released.
All these things were unsealed.
Yes, and is it who's Hannah? Whose daddy's always talking?
Kaylee
Gonzalez. His dad was
Steve or whatever.
all on it. So, but basically, the court documents. There are now Amazon receipts that shows that Kohlberger bought a K-bar knife, and if you remember from the Idaho 4, that's what they said the murder weapon probably was. Also, a knife sheath, and also a knife sharpening tool. So they have proof that he has bought the things that were needed to do the crime scene. More details came out about his car being seen like in the area more often. So maybe he was really peeping them out and stalking them before it happened. And then there's a selfie going viral that he took of himself at 10:31-ish the morning of the murder. He was in his bathroom in his Washington apartment. He was smiling. He had on his black earbuds, and he gave himself a thumbs up.
It looked like he had just showered. It was just a few hours after, 6 hours after the murder.
Yes.
You can see his hands in a thumbs up, which they kind of do look maybe a little swollen. He seems so proud. It doesn't seem as there's a shower curtain, because it wasn't the shower curtain missing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It looks like there's no shower curtain, but yeah, when they searched his apartment, the shower curtain was gone.
It's almost like, I did it! Like, what? But then there was also Amazon searches for another, like after the murder, for another knife sheath or something, or either another knife or another knife and sheath. So he could maybe replace it, or maybe he was thinking he could do it again if he...
Because he realized he lost it, but because what they're doing right now is they're like, produce the knife in the knife sheath. If that wasn't yours in the house and you ordered some, where are they? Show us. Like, this will be good evidence for you. And I don't know if they've produced it yet, but that's what they're asking him, or his lawyer. But the families, the prosecution, they're wanting that picture to be entered in, because if you remember at the beginning, the one roommate that was alive talked about the bushy eyebrows. And so this picture really shows his scary bushy eyebrows. But also, turn up your volume, because the 911 call was released. And this has me asking all types of questions.
This is so sad.
11:55 a.m. 42 seconds, November 13, 2022.
911 location of your emergency.
Something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
What is the address of the emergency?
112.
What is the rest of the address?
Oh, Kings Road.
Okay. And is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can you repeat the address to make sure that I have it right?
I'll talk to you guys. We live at the White, so we're next to them.
I need someone to repeat the address for verification.
The address, 1122 King Road.
And what's the phone number that you're calling from?
What's your phone number?
And tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Yeah. Hi, Hi, this is
And are you with the patient? Okay, I need someone to keep the phone, stop passing it around.
Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, Muffin, you gotta go check. But we have to. Is he passed out? She's passed out. What's wrong? She's not waking up.
Okay, one moment. I'm getting help started that way.
Okay, thank you.
Can I push pause real quick? I think
Where's
that
the blood?
no, I think what happened is they just barely went up the steps, and they had the guy friend who's about to come on the call, Hunter. They had him go up all the way and look, and when he saw what happened, he told them, "Go back downstairs. You don't need to see this." And then they're like, "Oh, okay." That's kind of what I think is happening.
Because
But
I'm
you
like,
can't hear him
what?
yet until but then I think he
He's
comes
gonna get
in.
on, yeah.
So I think he grabs his phone and he's like, "We need everybody," but he still doesn't really say.
I was just wondering why the hell aren't they saying they're bloody? And then why haven't you checked on the other roommates?
Why is there no blood in the wherever y'all are right now?
Yeah.
Because there's somewhere in the house.
Okay, and how old is she?
She's 20.
20, you said?
Yes, 20. Here's one
Okay.
of them.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I need someone to stop passing the phone around because I've talked to 4 different people.
Okay, sorry, they just gave me the phone.
Is she breathing?
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. No, she's mutilated and dead.
Talk to them,
Stabbed.
okay? I can't talk to them. I need you to talk to them.
Hello.
Okay. I have already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Say that again. There's a police here right now.
Okay. If there is a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
We don't have one. I think yes. Do you have a defibrillator? Yes, we have one.
Are you talking to the officer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
11:59 a.m. 49 seconds, November 13, 2022.
11:59 a.m. Koberger had already taken a selfie.
Yeah. I don't understand a lot. That doesn't.
I don't either. But kids these days, like, really, I don't understand because also all the text messages have come out, and I forgot all about those till just now. And she was texting somebody for a long time saying there's somebody in the house, but then you pass out, and you saw somebody, and then you pass out, and you wake up at 12 at noon, and then now it's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was real.
But you didn't even go up there?
Why would you not go up there?
And you don't even know about your other roommates yet. So she didn't say anything about Ethan. She didn't say anything
Xana?
about Xana. Who's the other one?
Kaylee and
Mowgli. Megan?
Morgan.
Morgan. So,
Morgan?
Somebody.
Maddie
Mogan.
Maddie
Yeah,
Mogan.
Maddie Mogan. So
And
I'm
Maddie
real
has
confused.
has the 3 DNA prints under her nails, and they haven't told us who they all match to.
I'm real confused. It just made me more confused. But you hear genuine emotion. And so now I see how the boy, whoever that was, probably was keeping them from seeing the scene. But he could have got on the phone and told the lady.
Yeah.
Because she still thinks he's passed out, so that's why she wants a defibrillator. There's no point for a defibrillator if he used a K-bar knife and there's blood
and maybe
everywhere.
he's just like, holy, yeah, we need you, because he knows like they're obviously dead because they're like, one of something I heard was like that Kaylee was unrecognizable. So if he like ran into her first, he was like, he could just be in shock and just be like, I didn't want to say that in front of, I didn't know. I just said, yeah, we need you. And I'm going to go throw up now or something. I don't know.
And when the dog's still alive?
Yes.
The golden doodle was locked in the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was just like, how come the dog's not barking? What happened to the dog? Okay. Well, there's my quickie. Is actually a very longie. The only other thing was Gypsy Rose. His boyfriend broke up with her.
Oh, well, the one who impregnated her?
Yeah. But they may do counseling and get back together. So.
Oh, good. I'm just so excited about that.
So there's your quickie, your longie, and we'll see you Thursday. Where are we going?
We're going to California for maybe a longie that's going to be a quickie. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty short.
See y'all Thursday. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
We said.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.